Hello everybody, I am Keaton and this is Kid Catholic Season 7, Episode 15, and I hope y'all are having an amazing Advent so far. I know I am. Before we get into today's video, please click the red subscribe button down below and the bell next to it, that way you get notified when I come out with a new video, and please share this video and channel with your friends and family. So, this week is finals week, and me being homeschooled previously to high school, this is my first ever finals, and to put it lightly, I'm a tad nervous for finals week, and it's really stressful, and it's a lot, and it's a lot to learn, a lot of brain power all at once, which I'm not very good at. And this week is finals week, and it's a lot of testing, right? So what I wanted to talk about for this episode is testing when it comes to our faith, how our faith can be tested. So let's get into it. So I want to start off by explaining, what do I mean when I say that our faith can be tested? Well, I mean put through hard times, right? I want to explain the story of Abraham and Isaac, right? We remember in the Old Testament when God told Abraham, if you truly love me, then you will go and sacrifice your son Isaac. And Abraham almost did it until an angel stopped him and said, you have proven your faith to God. You have proven that you are fully faithful to God. That type of stuff is not obviously that extreme type of stuff, but that's what I mean when I say our faith being tested, right? How we can be put through our hard times, how we all have spiritual crosses, and sometimes we're just put through such hard times, and sometimes we can pray and we feel like nobody's answering, right? But something cool that's actually really, really good to remember is that during the hardest tests, think about it, at school, when you have the hardest tests, the teacher is always silent, right? The teacher is always quiet. And sometimes these tests, these crosses, can seem impossible to get through. Can seem like there's no way we can get through it, and we can't without preparation, right? It's just like with a normal school test. We can't expect to pass the test. We can't expect to pass the test and make it easy without studying, right? And I'm learning this. There's a lot of studying involved, way too much. We can't pass without studying, right? We can't pass without preparation. It's the same thing when it comes to our spiritual crosses and the things that we endure. We can't get through hard times without preparation. And that preparation is prayer. That preparation is building a relationship with God, right? Because I've said it before, I'll say it again, God should be our best friend, right? And just like a normal human relationship, in order for that to happen, you have to talk to God and God has to talk back in order for a friendship to be built. And that type of preparation is what is necessary. Now, if we start praying and become God's best friend, does that mean that everything's just going to be lifted off of our shoulders and everything will be perfectly easy? No. You can study a lot in school, that doesn't mean that you're going to automatically know every single answer to every single problem on the test, right? No, that's not what that means. But it is going to be easier, because you will have preparation. It's not only prayer, it's also the sacraments, right? The sacraments are such a great help. The definition of a sacrament is an outward sign instituted by Christ to give grace. And what I wanted to focus on when I say that is that last part, to give grace, to strengthen us, to help us, right? Graces are like little boosts on the way to heaven, right? They help us a ton. And that preparation is necessary in order to pass these tests, where we are put through hard times, where sometimes it doesn't seem like God is listening, or sometimes it seems like God is completely ignoring us. And another thing that I want to mention when I say that is God's not, right? God is absolutely not. Sometimes we can sit here and think there's 8 billion other people in the world. God has to take time for them. But, time doesn't exist to God. God lives outside of time. God has all the time in the world for everyone, right? So God is listening. And sometimes it just doesn't feel like it. But in order to endure these tests, in order to endure these spiritual crosses that we have to carry, we need to have preparation. That is the key. Just like the key to passing finals is studying, right? You can't pass finals without studying, unfortunately. I really wish I could, but you can't, right? You need to study and you need to prepare. Now, there's also a different type of testing that I want to talk about, and this one comes from the devil. And that's temptation, right? Where we can be, in a way, tested to be led away from God, right? Because think about it, the devil's ultimate goal is to lead us as far away from God as possible, right? He wants us to not go to heaven. That's his ultimate goal. He wants to lead us further and further away from Jesus, and he will stop at nothing to get that accomplished. And temptation is a big key of that. Whenever we are tempted to do something sinful, whenever we are tempted to do something bad, that is the devil, right? Tempting us, wanting us to sin. And that can be a test to us, right? That can test our faith. That can test our true relationship with God. And we're all human, so we're all going to sin, but that isn't an excuse. And temptation can be very, very hard, right? It obviously varies on the type of sin or what the temptation might be, but it can be very hard. But we just need to remind ourselves, and that comes back to preparation, right? That comes back to preparation. If we build that friendship, we build that relationship with God, then that test will become so much easier. And we will pass that test of not sinning, of not falling into that temptation, and staying close to God, ultimately, like Jesus wants, right? So preparation is key, and I'll repeat that over and over and over again because it's so ridiculously important. Our faith is going to be tested, right? Especially in today's world, being Catholic is hard. Nobody said being Catholic is going to be easy. And sure, if we're best friends with God, it'll make it easier, but it's not going to become just perfectly easy. And when I say preparation, I don't mean that just tomorrow we can roll out of bed and bam, we're best friends with God. Especially depending on where you are with God right now. Like some of you watching this might be his best friend right now, which is absolutely awesome. Some of you watching this might not have a prayer life at all, right? I don't know. It just depends. But wherever you are, that friendship with God, it's not going to happen overnight. We need to pray. We need to take time to build that. We need to take time to prepare. You can't rush studying before a test, right? You can't put off studying the night before a test and then rush it super quickly and then expect to pass. Right? I know that from experience. You can't do that. You need to take your time. You need to understand. You need to be fully prepared. And we need to be fully prepared for these tests that we are to endure in our life. And some are going to be bigger than others. Just like finals is the big test, but of course we've had other tests throughout the year, right? Some are going to be bigger than others. Some may be harder than others. It all depends, but whatever it is, it comes back to preparation. And if we are just prepared, then it'll become so much easier to carry our spiritual cross and to get through it at the end of the day. Not only with our faith being tested that way, right, but also with temptation. If we just prepare ourselves, then it'll become easier to not fall into that temptation. Like I said, we all sin, but I feel like too often we can use that as sort of an excuse to sin as well. We all do it. Sure we do, but that doesn't mean that we have to go and do it again, right? So let's look to God. Let's pray to Jesus for help with this, for preparation, right? For preparation to endure these tests all year round, for the whole life that we are going to have, right? Our faith is going to be tested, so let's make that faith strong. Let's prepare so that we are able to pass the test. And please, I'm asking sincerely from my heart, please pray for me to pass these finals to the best of my abilities because I'm super stressed out. So now that the topic's done, do y'all know what it's time for now? It's time for
the Saint of the Week.
And today's Saint of the Week is Saint Philomena. Now, Saint Philomena, the reason I chose her for this topic is because it's finals week, and she is the patron of impossible, desperate, and forgotten causes, which is basically my finals week summed up in just one sentence. So I really need to pray through her during this finals week. Anyway, her story is absolutely incredible. Not a lot is known about her. In fact, what is known about her all comes from a vision where Saint Philomena appeared to this nun in the 19th century and explained to her Saint Philomena's story. So Saint Philomena's story is she was, I was about to say she was born. Yes, she was born, just like all people. Saint Philomena was born, and it was her father was Greek, who converted to Christianity, and when he converted to Christianity, he and the family moved to Rome, and when St. Philomena moved to Rome, Emperor Diocletian actually tried to marry her, and St. Philomena was absolutely not having it. St. Philomena had taken a vow of virginity, and this was all in the time when St. Philomena was just 13 years old. So it was at a very young age when Emperor Diocletian tried to marry her, and St. Philomena was absolutely not having it, and this, to say it lightly, made Emperor Diocletian very upset. He actually tied an anchor to her leg and tried to drown her. She was shot with arrows multiple times, but that didn't work. So finally, the emperor had her decapitated. And what's really cool is in the 19th century, her remains were found with tiles that said rest in peace, Philomena. And in the tiles, they had symbols of an anchor, three arrows, and an anchor. I don't know why I said an anchor and three arrows on the tiles to symbolize her martyrdom, which is absolutely incredible. And later, when people like collected her relics from the tiles in the tomb that they found. When they collected her relics, miracles actually started to be contributed to those relics. Like people were healed from cancer. This one man like had a very severe heart disease that healed overnight because he touched one of the relics of Saint Philomena. And so things like that are absolutely incredible. Like, think about that. That's absolutely incredible. And what little we do know about Saint Philomena is absolutely incredible. I say that word a lot, but it's true. Absolutely incredible. Philomena is an amazing saint who we can all look to, especially when our faith is being tested, when we do go through rough times, through hard times, when we do have to carry those spiritual crosses, when we feel like we are being tempted, or just in school tests, in finals week, like I am praying through her a lot this week, right? Because I definitely really, really, really need her. So we can all pray through Saint Philomena. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like the video. Please click the red subscribe button down below and the bell next to it. That way you get notified when I come out with a new video. Please share this channel and video with your friends and family. Make sure that they know about Kid Catholic. Please comment any saint or topic suggestions that you might have. Also, I get asked a lot, like, what's an easy way I can help support your channel financially? An easy way to do that is to go to amazon.com/shop/kidcatholic. And if you just use that link to buy anything from Amazon, then I get part of the commission, so it, like, helps support my channel. Also, please go check out my website, kidcatholic.com. There's so many things you can do on there. I have a speaking engagement up there. You can read about me. You can contact me. You can buy your very own Kid Catholic t-shirts, and all my videos are up there. So please go check that out. Also, please check out 3 of my social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The link to all 3 of those will be in the description down below. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a Merry Advent. Is it Happy Advent or Merry Advent? I'm not sure. Anyway, have a great Advent. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all next week. And hi, Brielle.